Godzilla Monster Planet. This is the newest Godzilla movie, albeit an animated one, to come out. It has been out in Japan for a little while, but we just recently got it on Netflix. This movie is about humanity in the far future. So, the planet starts getting attacked by several different monsters, and eventually Godzilla, the king of monsters, comes to the planet Earth, or just kind of appears, and starts destroying everything in his path. Monsters, humans, it doesn't matter. And humanity or humans try to destroy him, but they just can't. He's this all-powerful force. He's just mowing down everything. Not even nukes can stop him. So they're at a loss. Eventually, aliens come from space, and they offer. There's two sets of aliens. They offer the humans two separate things. One set of aliens say they can destroy Godzilla, but they want to live on planet Earth. And the other ones come and say they can take him away to a different area as long as they start believing in the religion. So the aliens who want to destroy Godzilla end up failing. So the humans decide to leave planet Earth. And this is where the movie takes place. It takes place about 20 years after Godzilla attacked Earth. And humans have been traveling space for a good while, trying to find a new home, but they're unable to. And during this time, they've suffered, they've run low on supplies, they barely have any food and water, so they decide to go back to Earth. And this is mostly due to a report coming out from the main character, who says that he found out a way to kill Godzilla. So they decide that their best bet is to go back to Earth, and maybe they'll be able to kill Godzilla and live on planet Earth again. So they go back to Earth, and this is where the movie pretty much takes place. Them going back to Earth and trying to defeat Godzilla to take back their planet. So Netflix announced this movie a while ago, and I've honestly been looking forward to it. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan. When I was younger, I used to watch the Godzilla movies on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I enjoyed them. I thought they were campy and fun, and they were really cool. I really liked Mega Godzilla vs. Godzilla. I thought that it was a really fun, cool movie. Unfortunately, this movie disappointed me. Now, it's not a bad movie, not by any means. The animation is really well done. It looks superb. The acting is really good, but the story isn't that good. It kind of lingers. It takes a while for things to actually happen. Godzilla doesn't even show up until like almost an hour into the movie, and the movie's only like an hour and 20-some minutes long. So that's one of the aspects that I didn't like. And a lot of the characters aren't really fleshed out. By the end of the movie, I barely knew any of the characters' names, just the main character, Haruo Sakaki. And the rest of the characters, I knew they were important, but they were really introduced very well. Some of them don't even show up until 30 minutes into the movie, which is kind of ridiculous considering, again, it's an hour and 20-minute movie. So they're hardly in the movie, and you hardly get any time with them. But, you know, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. There was good things. The animation, like I said, was fantastic, but the story really just hinders it. And the lack of Godzilla, I mean, it's a Godzilla movie. And like I said, I haven't watched a lot of Godzilla movies, but he was lacking in the movie, which, again, it's called Godzilla. You kind of have to have a lot more Godzilla than about 20 minutes, maybe, something like that. Because, again, it's like a 20-something minute movie, but you also have credits and everything. But I did think the movie was interesting. It had a good, interesting setup. Because when the humans get back to Earth, about 20,000 years have passed due to their space traveling. Because they warp, and when they warp, they think like 1,000 years passed, but it's really 10,000 years, and they figure that out when they get to the planet. And when they get to the planet, it's greatly changed. Like, the plant life has grown gigantic. Like, a lot of plants are tough as steel, and there's a lot of miniature, like, Godzilla monsters running around. So the planet has really changed and evolved. So that's one of the aspects I really liked. I like the humans' technology, and I kind of like the theme of the movie, which was the loss of your home. These people lost their home, and the main character especially, you know, he says this several times, planet Earth is our home, you know, we're going to take it back. You know, we were kicked off this planet, you know, everything was taken from us. And that's one of the main points of this movie. It's like, how would you feel if you lost your home? Where would you go? You know, there isn't any place, you know, the Earthlings have ever known, and they couldn't find anything to replace it. So it really weighs down on these humans, and the importance of, you know, taking back their planet, it's really important to them. So that's one of the aspects I really liked. Unfortunately, like I said, the plot, it doesn't do it any favors. It takes a long time for things to happen. Things just take a long time. Like, they're in space, you know, it takes like about maybe a half hour until they decide to go back to Earth and actually go there. And then when they're on Earth, they're just exploring it. It's really slow paced, unfortunately. I feel like if it had a faster pace and it got to the ending, or Godzilla, and a lot more action, it would have been a lot more interesting. But this might be due to the fact that this is it's only part 1, or movie 1. There's going to be a second part that comes out, I believe, later this year, at least in Japan. I don't know when it's going to reach America or the States. But it obviously shows, because the movie ends kind of in a cliffhanger, and watch the credits. There's an after credits scenes, just to let you know, that kind of helps set up the second movie. So it really feels like a lot of setup for the second movie, which is kind of unfortunate, because, like I said, it hurts this movie. I thought it was interesting. It had an interesting premise. You know, I thought it should have been a lot more exciting. But unfortunately, like I said, it's due to a slow pace. You know, not a lot of character depth, and not a lot of action, and definitely not a lot of Godzilla. That kind of makes me meh, this movie. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. If you're a Godzilla fan, probably definitely go check it out. I don't know if you're gonna love it or not, but at least it's interesting. For me, it's a different. I've never seen all the Godzilla movies, but I don't think there is a Godzilla movie that takes place in the far future where it's just a planet of monsters and Godzilla. So, like I said, I thought that aspect was interesting. So if you're a Godzilla fan, maybe you'll find that interesting. But unfortunately, not being a huge fan of Godzilla, I kind of thought the movie was just okay. Like, even if someone said it was a bad movie, I might agree. I mean, it's not directed badly. It doesn't look bad. You know, it doesn't have bad acting. But the story it's kind of mediocre, like I said, and that really, really hurts this movie, the slow pacing and the mediocre plot. But like I said, if you're a Godzilla fan, definitely go check it out. If you're a fan of animation, you can watch it. Like I said, the animation's solid. It has some good visuals, nothing too new. Like a lot of the stuff you've probably seen in different sci-fi movies or different animated movies. So it's not entirely brand new and cool or whatever. But it's still interesting to watch. If you like, you know, mechs or mechanical things, you'll probably find it interesting in it. But overall, like I said, I would give it a 6 out of 10. The 6 out of 10 isn't bad, but it isn't fantastic. Like I said, I was a little disappointed, and it could be that maybe I had my hopes high, and then I thought it was going to be this big action-filled movie, which it wasn't. It was a slower pace, you know, talking type movie, which isn't bad. I enjoy those type of movies, but it was too much, you know, techno babble and like, hey, this is planet Earth, blah 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 blah. It's a lot. I feel like a lot of the stuff they just could have inferred, and we, the audience, would have gotten it, because if you've seen plenty of sci-fi movies, you know what's happening and you know what's gonna happen. It's kind of obvious, and you kind of understand things. But like I said, it's not a horrible movie. I do recommend it if you're a Godzilla fan or an animation fan. But a 6 out of 10, you know, not fantastic. I'm hoping the second movie improves upon it, and it's just a lot more action and maybe a lot more interesting. The after credits scene definitely sets it up for the second movie to be a lot more interesting. Like I said, it's a cliffhanger, and it does have me interested. But unfortunately, this movie kind of, if it wasn't for the cliffhanger, I don't think I would be excited. If the movie just kind of ended where it ended, I definitely would have been angry and disappointed. So I'm glad there's a second movie coming, because it's going to flesh out the story, hopefully, and it definitely needs it. But that's it. If you watched the movie, what'd you think of it? You know, if you're a die-hard Godzilla fan, did you hate it? Did you love it? You know, was it a disappointment? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out. Hey, if you like this video, we have several other awesome videos you can check out. And again, thanks for watching.